Hey guys, Electrininja here, and welcome back to Electrininja's Lab. In today's video, I am looking at my Minecraft map, which you guys would have seen if you had actually looked at some of my older videos. Now, of course, it is a lot different since back then. Back then, it only had this room and the original map, which has been changed drastically. The original plan was to make it so that all of the different areas were going to actually be on a large scale of this, but lately I've decided to change it so that now everything is on a much smaller scale, and you walk around these smaller scale areas and then you can go into the bigger areas. Like you can go into the towers, which are over there. You can go into the Haunter area, all of these different areas. So far, we have all of the towers built, all of the forests built, all of the castles built, and all of the towns built, as well as the Haunter area, and that is it. We still have quite a few areas left to build. Primarily, we have to build the bosses areas, which there are 5 bosses that are important to the story. The others that are in this area are going to be minor bosses, but you still have to fight them. But the real bosses, there are 5 real bosses. There's also a last boss, which is in the post game, which, yes, there will be a post game. But so far, I've only set up the teleporters absolutely for the first island, or the first continent, except for, of course, the snow area, the boss, and the port, which was not there in the past one. Now, of course, this has grown a lot bigger since it was originally going to be, and I've decided that there's going to be a lot more than the original plan. The original plan was just to have all of these different areas and you would go to them, blah blah blah. Really simple. But now the plan is to actually have a lot of story aspects going into it, including side quests, which will mostly be found at these towns, but they will be located in other places as well. The bosses will be the really big bosses are going to be quite obvious which ones are which. For example, this one, which is the first boss, is going to be a Colossus that you have to take out. It's kind of like in Shadow of the Colossus, but it's not going to be exactly. I'm actually thinking of changing the name. But also the creatures, the big bosses do not move, primarily because it requires a lot of cloning commands, and if we were going to make them move, which I am not going to do because that would just take up way too much time. Some of them will have minor movements, specifically the last boss, which will have 3 major positions, standing upright, and 1 for each hand being on the ground. The first hand down position is going to be different than the other one though, so just be aware of that. But other than that, that's basically all we have currently. I won't show you the entire map, but I will show you some things that were not in the past video. Mostly the towers and the town and the castle and all of that. So let's start by going to the town. The town is not the biggest thing in the world, but it does have some very good features. Mostly it's going to be side quests here, but you also have your inn, which also includes your shop, and these will all be in the different areas. So this is the first island, over there is the second, third, fourth, and then way over there is the fifth island. Now this is your main person that you're going to be dealing with. This is the last boss in his human form. But I'm not going to give too many spoilers because that's a lot of work in there. But basically, when you come to this town, you will be going to, each time you go to a town, you will want to do a few things. One, check in with the different people all over the town to see what they have in store for you, mostly for the quests. Check in with the inn so that you can register your teleporter and be able to, and check out your shop because there will always be new stuff at the shops. If you go to the first town, you want to go to this area, which will allow you to see your armors that you have had. You want to put all of your armors in here once you're done with them, because you're going to get a lot of armors and you don't want to carry them all around. And since all of them are unbreakable, there's really no need for it. But other than that, that is basically it for the town. Something that I do want though is, if you guys want to, you guys can put down in the comment section of this video some builds that you want to see all over this map, specifically if you guys want to build them. Most of the stuff that I have in the map currently are built by Lemon Fox, but there are a few others that were not built by him. Specifically that statue. I'm going to change a few different things to make them not other people's stuff, but definitely some of them will stay behind. Specifically a few of the shops and stuff, because that's just easier way to do it. But other than that, that is basically it. When I do release this map, you will see links to every single person who made different MC schematics. But that is the town. I know I showed you the Haunter area, so that's not what I'm going to show you. The forest is nowhere near done, except for the fact that it has all of the trees and stuff. Once you've been to the forest, you're good. You usually just need to fight a monster and you'll be completely done. But there is a few other things that you'll need to do. Specifically this one, you have to fight a monster and then you're done, but that's all I have to say about that one. I think I showed the city, but I'm not certain. The city has a few buildings, including the shop, the farm, which I'm thinking of changing, the beacons, the dungeon. This is a little Easter egg is probably the best word for that. More farms and main built and power station. But that is going to be an Easter egg. That there's going to be quite a few Easter eggs all over the place, including some beginning building stuff. So that's just something to look out for. Next up is the tower. I did not build the tower. I will put a link to when I actually finish the tower, when I finish the game, you'll see who built this. But there are several versions of the tower. This is the first version, then there's the second version, and so on and so forth. After you have, besides the tower, we've also got the mine. The mine is kind of boring. It is nowhere near done, so I'm not going to worry about that right now. And then there's the castle. This castle is the only thing that is mostly complete. I need to put in the redstone and stuff, and also work on the dungeon, which of course is right here. Okay, I did not realize that those guys were still there. All over this place you're gonna find different people and monsters and all sorts of things. And this guy's going to be popping up only in the first areas, so just be aware of that. Each castle has a different king, who is basically the ruler of the different continent. But we're not going to worry about that right now. So you may have noticed that there is a little sidebar now. This is so that the player can see their stats, which of course is attack, defense, special attack, special defense, and speed, and then it also shows their money in their stats area. Now, in order to see your stats, you would drop a paper, which you will get the specific one that says stats. And now if you want to see your items, you can drop this and you will get to see all of your items. And dang it, I need to fix it again. Occasionally I need to fix things with these things, but other than that, it's good. So that's basically what you have. We do have an airship. The airship that we currently have is going to be rebuilt because I don't want to have problems with Final Fantasy and also whoever built that. You will be able to see that when you're playing the game, but it's just going to be you have to look really hard in order to find it. Specifically, it might be a picture that we might add in the resource pack, which we have not started yet. But other than that, that is pretty much it. That is completed in this. We do have some things set up now, where if you drop certain items, like if you drop the bag, which is a chest, and tells you to drop to go to the bag menu, you can now see all of your items that you have, that you will be able to get, except for the large items and the story book and the books for the story. In order to get the special items, you need to complete the different quests in the main city, the main towns. So for example, if you want to do this, if you do this town's quest, you will get your first item and so on and so forth. And now by completing all of the quests in those different areas, you will eventually unlock a new quest, which is going to be off to the side somewhere. For this one, it's going to be in that windmill. And basically what that is it is a specific quest that at the end of it, you get one of the ultimate set, a piece of the ultimate set, which at the end, you will get a piece of the ultimate weapon. You will get one of the ultimate weapons depending on your class, which I do have all of the classes down below. I'm not going to show you that because it's a lot of work. But other than that, I don't want to explain too much because then it's tons of spoilers and I don't want to give you all of the answers right away. So what you guys can do is, if you want to get into this and have at least your Minecraft name shown up in the final version, you guys can create different houses all over for each of the towns and of the 2 cities. You can also build if I can get 5 shacks that can be put into the 5 different forests, then that would also be greatly appreciated. But I'm not going to ask you for that. If you create a mcedit schematic that you want to be featured in the map, you can post it in the comments below. You can put a link to it in the comments below. I would prefer if it was on Planet Minecraft, because that's just an easier way to download the schematics, but I'm not overly picky about that. So yeah, with that, I will leave you with seeing a glimpse of the last area, the last continent, and the last place that you will go after you have defeated the boss. Take care, guys. See you next time.